right. Anyway, the medicated one is like.
Hear it, and I know it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
It wasn't so inappropriate. We're doing a story here about the police, are we not?
Yes.
And I said,
we should find out what the story's
I
about.
could be your Dick Tracy. I could be your guy, right? I could protect you.
Anyway.
What's the story about? Kimberly?
A lawsuit. I'll tell you, a lawsuit was filed against New York City today. Yes. Forthcoming, people. All right, by 8 Muslims from New Jersey who want to put an end to the NYPD's controversial surveillance program. Now, that program targets some Muslim groups, neighborhoods, and mosques. So take a listen to some of the people who filed this complaint.
This spying, without question, was unjustified, and it was definite, without doubt, an invasion of our civil, human, and our constitutional right.
It was explicit reference to the fact that they weren't targeting Syrian Jews or Iranian Jews or Egyptian Christians, but really the focus was on Muslims.
All right, well, Police Commissioner Ray Kelly says this type of surveillance is necessary to protect New York from another 9/11. Would you agree, Eric?
The imam that we had on there said it was a violation of their constitutional rights. The people who had their constitutional rights violated the most were the 9/11 victims, the 3,000 who were killed by 19 hijackers who happened all to be Muslim. So for the NYPD to do what they due diligence, and they have to go into cross state lines, go into New Jersey and look for terror plots that may be pending, upcoming, I think it's absolutely fine. I think they've already stopped 14 or so by using this method.
So can you imagine? I mean, does anyone want to do the experiment? You know, dial back the surveillance. Don't go pursue leads if you have to cross the street into Jersey, and then we can see what happens and say we were wrong and we apologize. There's too much at stake here, isn't there, Dana, to be sitting there, you know, criticizing it? And New Jersey even said, the Attorney General said there was no violation.
It's a strange thing that a lot of groups will do if they feel like they're being targeted to turn America's system of civil rights and the Constitution back on the government and say it's not fair. Now, that's one of the things that we have to struggle against. But I think there's no doubt that the intelligence that they gather is helping us prevent terrorist attacks. And I read an interesting piece, and I can't remember who wrote it. It was in Commentary Magazine about the Associated Press reporting on this original story. It's worth going back and looking up because you look at it, it was actually pretty shoddy at the beginning, which led to some of this angst, which these individuals might not have had the reporting been accurate at the time. Greg?
That was a bad article. Hey, look, okay, I'm not sure spying is an invasion of privacy. If you're actually kind of like in a public place spying on somebody, I've been doing that the last 2 years to Bill Hemmer, and that's not against the law. But here's the deal.
Do you
know how you know that this is good policing? Is that the police hate it. Because generally good policing is really, really boring. You have to sit around and listen to angry students talk all day. These guys would rather be in Times Square picking up Dutch exchange students, not sitting here doing
Bob.
What?
For what?
For Bob's, whatever. But my point is this. This is what you do. You enter a community, you get to know the community, and you listen. It's very boring. They don't like doing it. These cops don't want to do it. It's their job.
But there's results from it, right? They're able to gather intelligence. That's the purpose. They wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't a means to an end, and they weren't getting valuable intel.
Kimberly, you're a lawyer.
Let
me just tell you something. I'm a guy that gets in trouble for things that I say about fears in terms of the Muslim community. So you know this. But the reality is that what the lawsuit says is that they are being targeted simply on the basis of their religion. So it's as if, you know, in Syria or one of these countries where all Christians are being persecuted, you said, I'm going to go into every Christian home or church, and just on that basis, I suspect that you're a terrorist. Well, that's not fair to people in the Muslim community, most of whom are not terrorists. It is fair to say that when we have a lead, we will conduct surveillance in a church.
How is it that every terrorist on American soil has been a Muslim, not a lead?
Oh, wait a second. You mean to say Oklahoma City was conducted by a Muslim? Oh, come on. Look,
and the Christians who are being targeted and persecuted in the Muslim world, you don't hear a lot about any terrorist attacks in Syria that were being carried out by Christians and been targeted for the religion. I mean, the Muslim community has to come to terms with the fact that they have a problem, and that when they cooperate,
I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying that as a matter of constitution. That's why I said, Kimberly, as a lawyer, our Constitution doesn't allow you to target somebody on the basis of their religious practices. That's not right.
Right.
Okay, so, I mean, honestly, the likelihood, you know, the outcome in terms of them being able to prevail here, because they're seeking in terms of they don't want, it's not money damages. They want to destroy all the records of information, et cetera, and it's just not going to happen. They're not going to succeed on this case. If you want to know the legal shortcut, the brief on that. All right, coming up. Today marks, roll it, yeah, the anniversary of D-Day, a day to honor the remarkable courage and bravery of soldiers who fought and died for our freedom. We're going to show you all of that in a memorable speech by President Reagan on the 40th anniversary. Right back with it. Stay with us.